Hi, we messed everything up. It's all my fault. If somebody would do me a favor, take the link and go ahead and share it into the comment section underneath where I put everyone on Facebook. Also, the Telegram. If you would paste the new link into the Telegram, that would be outstanding. Something was wrong on the configuration for the new channel with live streaming. I tested it earlier today, but it did not work. So in any case, it is what is today? Friday. It's Friday, January 23rd, 2026. It is 12:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think it's about 7:50 in South Africa, something like
Eight
that.
o'clock almost.
Yep, almost 8 o'clock, and it is 8:50 a.m. here in Alaska. So this last week has been quite interesting. We've been working on the Dow. A lot of people helped to raise funds for that. I appreciate you all very much. We will have some going into that, but that's a wonderful thing. There have been a bunch of smear articles that were put out against myself, Mo, Liza, Pyrex as a project. Um, let's see. There was an email put out that basically, for the first time in Block Dag history, they put the winners of or the leaders of a particular promotion uh, or contest that they had. They put their names on there in um, con- what am I trying to say? At the same time as they're doing this smear campaign. So very, very interesting there. What else? What else am I missing? What else has happened?
Quickly tell me, Reid, how can I see the comments or chats on the channel?
You have to go to the YouTubes on the new. You probably don't have the link for this new one.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Um,
so I can't see the comments. No worries.
I
No
can
worries.
put
No,
it
no,
in
no.
the
Carry on.
YouTube. I can put it in the WhatsApp chat.
Well, it is a ask me anything, right?
Right, right, right.
So I
Let's
want
see.
to see.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll
Let's
get
see.
you the link. I had a link shared
I just
out,
want to.
and then everything got ruined.
No worries. No worries.
All right, share, copy link, WhatsApp. All right, there's that. Mo, you want to just open up with your slideshow, or do you want to start with some
Yeah,
juicy
yeah.
audio?
No, I think the first thing first, I think it's better to give insight and context into what got us here, because we do have a lot of newer investors that have joined the group and have limited understanding of the history that got us to the point where it is. And I think what people have forgotten, some of the opponents in terms of what we're working on, is realizing that
Oh,
at one point we were cheering for Block Dag to succeed, right? So I'm gonna do a breakdown of kind of what we're looking at right here, and then we can go into the stuff you have read, if that works.
Sounds good to me.
All right, can you guys see? I'm sharing my screen right now, so we're gonna start off with. Actually, I'm gonna come back to the first slide because I'm gonna end my presentation on the first slide. Um, so let me know when you guys can see.
I can see it just fine.
Okay,
Um,
all right, perfect. So I'm gonna
obviously,
start.
maybe you want to make it bigger.
Oh, yeah, good point, Lisa.
Thank you.
No worries.
I can make it
Uh,
bigger on the screen too. Let me play with my
okay.
end.
That's what she said.
All
Sorry.
right, so I have this. Let me know. I made it bigger as well on
Okay,
my
well
end.
you messed mine up at this. I was doing it studio wise, and you changed the dynamics on me. Okay, all
All
right,
right,
there we
is it
go.
much better now?
I think we
Yeah,
got it.
that's it.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, so
Thank you.
as Reid mentioned before, there were some raffles that were conducted and previously disclosed about on the past. Apparently, there was a 10 BTC auction winners revealed, and those are the wallet addresses on there, and none of our wallets are there. And this was published back on August 14th. So
They didn't put any
coincidentally,
names on there.
the correct, the wallet addresses just just popped up on there to show that these guys just they just win a bunch of stuff, right? Coincidentally, when we put out there that we're setting up a DAO because we're demanding transfer back into the community's hands due to several instances of mismanagement. Now all of a sudden you see PR campaigns, you see an article showed up
It's
that apparently we were paid 1.1 million. I would love to see where that money went, that 1.1 million dollars of USDT. Because if I was paid that, I wouldn't be here fighting. I would be on somewhere chilling, forgetting about everyone. But here I am fighting with all of you. So I would hope that logic would dictate over speculations. I also posted my wallet address earlier today in the BlockDAG investors chat, and I would love for everyone to go in there and just grab that, audit it yourself. I have nothing to hide. So I just want to clear that up. Like Reid mentioned, we were given bonus BDAC tokens at one point, BDAC tokens, and we did have conversations with various people saying, hey, that those tokens would be split up amongst you guys. We're not keeping them. And those people at least one of those people have already jumped in and confirmed that. So full transparency, my wallet address is out there. Just feel free to audit it. If you need it, just ping me. I'll give it to you as well. Sorry, Reid, you were going to jump in.
No, I was gonna say if you could blow it up, like zoom in.
Oh, yes. Yep. Uh, okay.
They
There
can
we go.
barely see the wallet addresses and stuff.
Okay. Let me know when you guys can see this.
Yeah, so right
Yep.
here they've got. That's how they've done all their promotions.
And that's the other thing. You can't pay for miners. You can't find money to pay for miners. You can't pay someone that you owe $700. But I mean, according to you, you have $1.1 million in USDT to pay me, and 700,000 to pay Reid. So it's like, I mean, that alone is you're contradicting yourself. So I'm not
But
worried
you don't
about
have
that.
140,000 to pay for the fired employees.
Yep. So now looking back on the context, right? We want to look back on, what are some of, let's talk about return on investments, right? Because in one of our conversations with Nick, he had mentioned that they never made a promise on returns on investments, right? And in fact, when BlockDAG first started marketing, everything that they've done was based on cash grabs. It wasn't based on the tech itself or what the project is capable of doing. It was based on here's how much money you can make. And these are some screenshots that we have grabbed. If you guys remember, for the earlier investors who have been in this project from the beginning, BlockDAG were sponsoring articles saying that it was, and these are the websites with the links for them saying that, BlockDAG could reach $10, it could reach $20, it could reach $50. That's how they started marketing it as based on financial returns. And not only did they market it on that, for those of you who have been in this project earlier on, they had a price projection calculator on the dashboard somewhere on there where you could drag it and you could see what your tokens would be worth in a couple of years from now. And those promises were like you could drag it for $10, $20, and I think the way they worded it, calculate how much your block deck would be worth at the moon or something like that. So all of these are documented instances of them initially misrepresenting the project based on guaranteed financial returns. And this is one screenshot of it to show the case that these articles were, it clearly stated on them that they were sponsored articles, meaning that they came from WPRO, who has ownership from GK himself. So this is just one instance. Sorry, Reid, I see you.
You're good.
All right.
I was gonna say, show it.
Move.
Yeah, there we go. 30,000 ROI explosion. That's what I was looking for.
So within this article itself, there's a lot of things that they're promising on this article, right? They're promising real adoption. Okay, granted, we all want to see real adoption. You know, they're stating that the ROI is 37.46%, right? I mean, it's in writing there. They're also saying that at the time of this article that 17,000 ASIC miners were shipped globally. To this day, no one has received miners. In fact, we're now being told that we have to wait after launch in order to receive miners. So that in of itself, again, is a question mark itself there. The thing is that they also said 312,000 holders. Well, we have just learned that there's not 312,000 holders. There is 150,000 holders. So, and again, another lie in terms of misrepresentation for A, miners, B, return on investments, and C, the amount of holders that we have.
Hey, while you're on that, let me play something for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sending me, I'm looking through all the material and it's all around, body of evidence around promotional activity. And honestly, there's no, as I keep on saying, the saving grace here is that there's no inflection of returns. That's the biggest thing I've seen with regards to our journey with all the freaking mighty legal opinions, millions of dollars spent in, legal fees. I know America's litigious, as in they sue for breathing. Oh, you breathed on me, therefore I can sue you. I get it. I'm not saying that this is a light accusation across the board. Yeah, I mean, bonus incentives have driven this economy over and over and over again. It's what's driven the promotional activity. There is some sense of aggrievement with regards to earlier adopters of the protocol, but they did it with their eyes wide open in thinking that they would get massive returns. That's their own assumption. There hasn't been any promise of returns. I just want to state that because that is actually quite a key point. One of the biggest things that we went through with Orbit and the funding mechanism and everything that we had, and what we went through over the last 5-6 years has made me a bit of bulletproof because I've got more than enough legal opinions, one in favor, one contrary. Everyone believes that they know the best when it comes to Web3. The SEC is still figuring this shit out. I know in America you can do class action suits, then you're going to try and recover your money, but then there was an expectation of return, but there's no expectation of return here actually in any way, shape or form. Or it was never stated that there would be a return. So as long as you can also prove utility token, so I mean you're proving utility in the token, that it's a gas token which then is powering the ecosystem, there's clear utility. It wasn't sold as a return mechanism, it wasn't sold as it's an interesting one. I've been through the ring on this for 5 years.
Sorry about that. I hated to yell, but wanted to make sure everybody heard it. So, yeah, I mean, let me see if I can blow it up a little bit more on our end, but no, that's about it.
Sorry, Reid, I couldn't hear the audio from my side but it seems like the community heard it, so that's fine.
Yeah. It's not coming through on the Zoom. It's coming through on the
Oh,
studio.
okay. Okay. I apologize. I didn't
No,
hear
it's
that.
okay. It's
Am I
okay.
okay?
Yeah, you're good now. It's clear.
Yep. All right. The other thing in support or furtherance of the point that this project has always been promoted based on unethical cash grabs. I mean, everyone knows the initial vesting structure that this project was advertised as. And here we are where the vesting itself was marketed, where people were now being bought in with no vesting at a disadvantage of earlier investors. This is one instance of unethical marketing that was directly orchestrated by WPRO. Investor suppression attempts. So let's talk about that. So while Reid and I have been leading out efforts and attempts to hold this project accountable, we were getting attacks ourselves and, all of our channels. And I've sort of put that up on the screen so you guys can see the harassment that we have also gone through. So, all of these PR articles out there that, are making all of these accusations, it doesn't surprise me at all because as you can see here, people, we, it was paid to leak our information, to hack us, $1,500, harassment attempts. And these are just a very few example. My Reddit was compromised in an attempt to gain control over the Reddit group, given that, the Reddit is super active. So these are just some documented examples that we're putting out there so you guys can actually see. We're keeping everything factual today so we can make a case to show what has exactly been transpiring. Anything you want to add, Reid, before I move on?
Yeah, just for you guys, you were talking about that audio that where Nick was talking about there was never a ROI, and people had asked in the chat. That was a group chat that Muhammad, Nick, and myself had, and Nick quite frequently will just send audio messages, and so that was an audio message that was sent in a group chat to myself and Muhammad, and essentially what he said there, Muhammad, to keep you and Liza abreast, is he said that there never at any point has BlockDAG promised any ROI, and he used that verbatim. He really was trying to press that because he said that that's where a legal basis for a suit comes in, and BlockDAG had never done that. So as you showed the 30,000 ROI, I wanted to play that video, or that audio rather, of that. I'm gonna play it, differently next time. The next audio, I'll play it through my studio mic so y'all can hear it as well. I didn't think about the fact that it wouldn't come through Zoom.
Yes. Okay. All right. We covered the misrepresentation of wallets already, so I'm not going to go into that. I mean, it speaks
Everybody
for
knows.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been saying 150,000 here lately. They've said all kinds of numbers over the course.
They also marketed, that 20 exchanges were confirmed. I think at one point they said they created this marketing campaign where they use Coinbase's name on the front of the page or the likes of or something like that in order to extend cash grab promotional campaigns. But they initially, in their own words, said 20 exchanges confirm on all top exchanges. Right now, we're finding out that they don't have 20 exchanges. All of that was a lie, in essence. And, we're using their documentation right here. So you can understand where we're coming from now, where we're now, everything that they're doing has been a contradiction of what they put out there. And it's been very unethical. But I'm going to keep going on as well. We already covered this. So in the interest of time, I'm going to keep moving. False claims on minors, we kind of touched on this already, so I'm not going to come back here.
I want to throw something out that GK said, though. On a phone conversation with myself, I don't know if you were there, Mohammed, but GK told me that he thought that it would be a good idea to have 20 exchanges, and so he put it out there in marketing. That was before he had secured any exchanges or anything like that. And then as he went and started speaking with people who actually do this for a living, he found out that going on a whole bunch of exchanges was not a good idea, and that it depletes your liquidity too fast, and like he messed up. The guy has no idea about anything Web3. He's admitted to it to me and Mo, and he had no idea that going on 20 exchanges was not good to launch simultaneously.
Yep. Why are you worried about liquidity if, according to you, you have money?
All the money. All right, sorry.
Yep.
Carry on.
All right. Now, let's not forget about the bonuses where we were reaching out to them, warning them about overselling. And what did they do? They misabuse promotions on the tap miner, allow it to get out of control to the point where it had to be mitigated with a conversion, then went on and did the same thing with the token supply overall, where they oversold on tokens and then went ahead and introduced what was it, double up, double up.
Yeah, you spend half of what you've already purchased and you double up.
Exactly. And then guess what? Now you had wallets popping up with numbers like these, and where it was still giving people zero vesting. And I know they came up with a 39% compression or conversion schedule. I don't know how accurate that is because that doesn't even seem to solve the issue. We showed them the formula that Anthony had initially agreed to or communicated to the community, and they came back with 39% conversion. If you have wallets that are that are, it's this large, I mean, I don't know how accurate that number is, but I'm not going to speak on that. I'm just showing you guys these are the wallets that spent minimal amount and have these large amounts, inflating the supply overall that caused them to oversell. And they choose to ignore that despite multiple warnings and continued selling for short-term promotional gains.
Well, I'm going to speak on it. They said this is simple math, guys. Simple. Like, you don't need a doctorate to figure this out. They said they sold 125 billion tokens. You have to fit that back into 50 billion. That's not 39%. Okay, carry on.
All right, and let's not forget as well too when they were marketing that they're going to be uh, registered for compliance and Seychelles, and then out of nowhere, as we were led to believe that this would be set up in Seychelles, I might be pronouncing that wrong. They came out with the FSA came out
Seychelles.
with a warning. Seychelles. All right, I'll let you
Like
pronounce it,
seashells, but Seychelles.
yeah, it's my
Seychelles.
accent, guys. So, so they came out with this warning, the FSA, and said they're not authorized, to be selling tokens in this jurisdiction. So, and the entire time we were led to believe on multiple occasions that they were being set up for under the FSA jurisdiction. So, again, this is a documented disclosure that was made by the FSA. Julian said, funny to see this fake balance screenshots. I mean, these were going around in the actual channels. These were documented investors, just so you know. And I mean, do the math. Just do the math because they oversold by a lot, so it does add up. Um, all right, I want to go back to last but not least. Recently, there have been a PR campaign attack. Again, as Liza mentioned, against Reid, myself, her, and Pyrex as well. So, and these attacks have been coming from particular websites. One of them being, I'm going to go back to the beginning. One of them being Analytic Insight is the name of it. And Analytic Insight is actually a WPRO controlled media. I looked up the address and it goes back to Dubai, where again, we know who's in Dubai, right? But it's interesting. Yep. So it's very interesting, right? Because one of the allegations that this particular website, and by the way, Reid and I are pursuing legal options at this point. We've been in conversations with attorneys because one of the things they put out there is that I've been going around showing the wallet balance for Pyrex in an attempt to get people to come on board. That's a lie because Pyrex is not even in pre-sale and they haven't been even asking for anyone for money. They have been focusing on their infrastructure and that's all they've been focusing on. So I don't know where I would get a balance from to show if they haven't even entered into pre-sale. The only reason why Pyrex was in the discussion is because it was started by a group of block tag investors who got tired of waiting around doing nothing, got tired of being pulled into controversy, and went ahead and started off their own project. That's how, and then also have a pool of coins allocated towards BDAG investors to claim without spending any additional requirements. I'm sorry, any additional spending. So if they were in for this for cash grab, they would have been in pre-sale already. They would have been making promises of returns like BlockDAG did. they would have been asking people to spend money in order to claim BDAC tokens. They're not doing any of that. And that speaks for itself. But here's the interesting thing, right? Because the same site is promoting BlockDAG as as a project to invest in, and it's also promoting ZKP blockchain as a project to invest in as well. So it's like you're going around. If this site was credible, you wouldn't be advertising projects that are broiled in controversy, right? And don't even have their codes published for the group or community to audit. But then you kind of throw accusations out there at other projects not having their codes public, and it is a misconception because Pyrex does have a GitHub code that it made available for anyone to audit. So but these projects out there, actually ZKP, I have actually asked the admin in that chat, hey, can you give me the code or the GitHub so I can take a look at it? And they haven't responded to me. They ignored me. BlockDAG, GK flat out admitted that he's not putting the code out there because he doesn't want anyone to replicate it. He's flat out said that in meetings. So, these sites are all paid WPRO controlled media that have been paid or controlled by WPRO in order to launch missile attacks that are based on false and unverified information. So that's why I wanted to kind of, go a little bit and to show you guys documented evidence of mismanagement and and all of these different other instances that got us to the point where we're now talking about a DAO.
Yes, absolutely. So if I may, I want to jump into this, all right? Can I go? Ready already? Because it's a ask me anything, right? Okay, so I'm going to call you up by name. At Sadar 414. Lisa's complicit in this as well. I would like to answer you. I've got 1.4 million BDAC tokens as token team allocations. I'm an investor, which means if it goes down, I lose my money. And that is confirmed, and we can do a screen grab if you want to. This is an ask me anything. So I'm gonna answer questions as they go. I'm here to represent myself as an investor because I'm absolutely one. I've worked 7 days.
Bro, keeps
Hey
you right.
guys,
Yep.
Hey guys,
did you tell them, Nick? Did you tell them?
Bro, tell them.
Mine is
letting you
done.
tell them.
X30 is all done. We're just waiting for the final stuff from Gold Show for the X100s, but paid, guys. Done.
Okay, so X100s and X30s are paid?
No, X30s are fully paid.
X30,
X100s, there's miscalculations on their behalf. We're waiting. They said on Monday they'll give us the final invoice number and we'll pay it. They said don't pay, but fully paid, my man. Paid.
And what are we looking at on X10s?
Extends will be next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Extends will be next week. Yeah, everyone's shut down for
All right, so y'all just I just played audio where he said that the X30s had been paid, the X100s would get paid on the following Monday because they had an invoice that was improper, and then I asked them about the X10s. They said next week, and now we've heard all kinds of stories about that, but this was December 31st, is when that video was from, so. It's just lie after lie after lie. And, Muhammad and I went in there with the best intentions, and we went in there with open minds to try and facilitate the best possible situation that we could for the community. And it finally got to the point to where they wouldn't show us receipts. It was just always next week. I would be willing to bet you a dollar to your dime that they still haven't paid for the X10s. The X10s are ready to go. They started talking about hardware problems after that. The next time I asked, which was that was the 31st of December. The next Friday I asked, and it was hardware problems. And then the next Friday I asked, it was something else. Out of control.
I think it's really pretty simple. I don't think it's hard. I think we can all just connect the dotted line. If you're dealing with a transparent company has no problem to produce receipts or paid fired employees or paid minors or prove apparently you and Mo both are now millionaires. Damn it, I missed the boat. This is just following the dotted lines. It's not hard. There were so many words of honor. I'm not even going to go to manhood because that's long gone. Just honor. A man is only as good as his word, and his words will be displayed by his actions. That's it. Just your actions. You can tell me what you want, but your actions show me who you are. So why do we keep on going? I mean, even the pre-sales is now again extended. It's like a tomfoolery that goes on that for some reason we keep on, and I said this before, Maya Angelou said this, when a man shows you the first time who he is, believe him. Believe him. I'm an investor. I have now full right to say, why is my team not paid? Why is my fired team not paid? Because you got the money. It's honor. Why not paid? Why the miners not paid? Why do we keep on having to have this narrative of you telling us stuff but never backing it up with any action, any evidence of your honor? Because a man is only as good as his word.
All right, let's see. We were talking about how many holders there were in BlockDAG. This is our current CEO. They said 300,000 or something like that on that screenshot you had, Mohammed?
319, I believe.
All right.
That's what it was.
Let's see here. Okay, that is it.
Page on that, and I'm playing what's in front of me, and what's in front of me is we have a vibrant community, 151,000 token holders. Vesting gets allocated in accordance with the votes, and we can manage the liquidity that we have along with allocations. And nowhere am I seeing a hyperinflated crash. I'm seeing bands ranging between 3 cents all the way up to 12 to 13 cents. I'm also then seeing stability around 5.8 to 6.3 cents.
So, once again, just I believe that to be closer to the true number, but they've done this the whole time. And they were putting out document after document saying that, they had 350,000 holders. They amp up the X1 app users as being over 3 million. It's really unverifiable. Here, while we're on that,
the share, there is then a use of shareholders' funds. Those funds can be used to go and blow up smoke if you feel like it. Fine line on these projects, isn't there? I mean, the reality of the situation, it's a pre-seed. The reality of the situation is that, and this is not a defense, I'm just talking out too loud. I mean, having just gone through 5 years of this with regards to the project I've launched to Orbit.ai finally coming through what essentially was an extremely difficult time in the pre-sale. Most projects in pre-sale non-listed, face this type of scrutiny across the board. Is it investor funds? The funds have got a use of, operations, funding, what have you. So, I mean, it is such a fine line to call it an investment. I mean, this is really the crux of it. Is it an investment? Is it purchasing a token at a certain price with an expected value? Then it is a share. There is then a use of shareholders' funds. Those funds can be used to go and blow up smoke if you feel like it, to be quite frank. The notion that there's this immediate like shareholder relationship with regards to share capital is a bit of a misnomer, I would say. I mean, the reality of the situation is, there's no let's just talk this through. I mean, is there a issue of rug pulling? Is it just disgruntled individuals wanting more value back for their money? I mean, the crux of it is that, isn't it? It's like, I put in 10 rand, I'm demanding, sorry, I'm raising my voice, but I'm using it as an example. I'm demanding that you give me $5 million back in money because I put $10 in. Really? Yeah, I mean, you got to be very careful with this type of information. I mean, if Anthony, I've known for a long time. I mean, we've got a great team, but this does undermine the core of the business. If you stop this freight train, you then don't have a business. Everyone loses. Yeah, and that opens you up to various other legal avenues vis-a-vis potentially what's the right word? You can't call it treason because it's not a country, but you know what I mean. Like, it's undermining all the business values of good humans like myself and Anthony included, Jeremy, all the people I've brought in that I've known for like 10, 20 years. I mean, for crying in a bucket, I've just brought in one of the top lead creative developers around, and I mean, I've known him for 10 years. So yeah, I mean, we're all trying to work towards a certain goal here. Obviously, what I'm saying is, like, this is not, in any way, shape, or form me operating as the CMO. I'm operating as a normal individual. I own $58 worth of block DAG. So, I mean, this is the light of that. Actually, that's not true. $68 of block DAG shares, which are, well, not tokens, not even tokens. They're digital assets. They're not even tokens yet. The key is, on an SEC basis, what was the intent? Do you go the SEC route? Don't you? Then everyone loses. This is the weird thing. Or do people try and understand that the reasonable expectation of their return is ludicrous? Oh, well, I put $10 in and I'm gonna get $1 million. Bullshit. I mean, go fucking find where that's ever going to be the case in any world, And this is also skirting the line whether it is an investment or not. I mean, you obviously then got to look at protection with regards to accredited investors in the US. If they weren't accredited, it is all anonymous to a decentralized exchange mechanism with no KYC AML. Do you put KYC AML in place and then everyone gets their money back? That's another solution. We've spoken about the tokenomics. I mean, guys can do this until they're blue in the face. The reality of the situation is you got to look at the bonus inventory. You got to move the bonus tokens away from, the actual core tokenomics. You do that, you've got sound tokenomics. I mean, it does it in one foul swoop. I mean, we all agree on.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all turned that on to play while you were hearing, but that was Nick driving in his car talking about how this isn't really an investment. It is kind of a private company, and that, once the investors basically give their money to it, you can pretty much do whatever you want to with it. You can blow it up in smoke. You can do whatever, and that's kind of the gist. And just real pompous with it, in his own words, when he's not on camera, So I wish that I guess y'all could just mute your microphone and hit play on your YouTube when those are playing. Just throwing it out there. But because it kind of it doesn't give y'all context about what's taking place. But we were having audio issues trying to share it on Zoom. But I mean, it's just blatant. It's very blatant. You've heard him before talking about essentially that they can do whatever they want to with the money once it's invested. There's another clip that I have. I don't know exactly what minute mark it is. I was busily rushing trying to find the things that were relevant, and what was it that G said? He said $100 million, I think, is what he paid in marketing, something to that effect. He was guessing. He said,
Yeah. So yep. So I had asked him, well, how much was spent on marketing, and his response to me was, a budget of 100 million was dedicated to marketing, and I believe I'd also asked for the names of the additional marketing agencies, and I was told that they're subcontractors. So from that conversation, what I gathered is that the money was allocated towards WPRO, is what I kind of inferred from it, with a $100 million budget.
Right. So he took pre-sale money and essentially funneled it to WPRO, who then paid for articles, they paid for Meta ads, they paid for Google ads, all the different things. And all of those were promising ROI. They were doing all the things that the SEC regulates against, and that Nick Vanderberg tried to say that they didn't promise. Just gaslighting. Well, all right. Let's see. Y'all try to play your audio this time. I'll play. I think I got one more real quick. This is. I don't know if you guys want to, but you can maybe mute your microphone and play your audio. You might get to actually hear it this time. It's not. This one's not anything too juicy, but it speaks on how things are thought of. And here we go.
Mate, it's the same for suing somebody that your coffee's hot, aka Burger King and McDonald's. Oh, I didn't know it was hot. Oh, 52 degrees temperature is actually optimal, so you won't burn yourself. I mean, come on, do me a fucking favor.
So, he's trying to compare suing BlockDAG for their frauds, their myriad of frauds, would be the same as the people who sued over spilt coffee when they burnt themselves. It's just the lack of care for investor funds and the overall demeanor of Nick and Gerhan is just pompous. It is arrogant. And, they've come out with all kinds of slanderous lies. They could deny it, but do you have that email pulled up? You know what? I got my email right here. It'd be easier just to do it this way.
Yeah. I hate to break it to him. You can sue for the situation he's describing.
Completely.
So.
It's just foolish to even. Let's see that. I get so many emails. There it is. There it is. Let me blow this up so it's not. How do I do this?
Well, my dad always has a good saying, right? If you wrestle with pigs in the mud, you'll always lose because they've got more experience. So, I also have my lawyers advised me to go for defamation of character and whatever. And you know what? We've got better things and greater things to build than that.
Yeah, well, I'm petty, so I'm.
No. I'm like a greyhound with a rabbit.
No,
I want to see an epic blockchain. I want to see BlockDAG succeed. I want to see the community succeed. That's what I want. I want success for all of us, right? It's been. I'm not going to down every hill. I really am not. I think we need to stand together as a community, which we've done, and build an epic project. I mean, the stuff that I've seen being built by people like you, and there's a few unmentioned names that are just groundbreaking. And I'm like, the world needs to see this. The world needs to see this, right? And for me, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. Let's set the world free, one mind at a time.
you know, I didn't even notice this actually. I just glance at things because I stay pretty busy, and this says right here on the email from yesterday: buy BDAG today, 50x ROI at launch. Now this is the same thing that Nick was saying in the video is what makes them liable for lawsuits. That's literally what he said in his own words. So he's aware of it. He was the chief marketing officer for BlockDAG throughout this entire thing. So Nick Vanderberg, let me tell you, buddy, you are liable and you have admitted to it. And I have the audio. And right here from Thursday at 9:05 a.m. Alaska time, that's approximately 25 hours ago, you've got a 50x ROI pretty much guaranteed in your promotional. Oh, what else you got in this here promotion? You've got Saeed Mohammed Adam, his full name. I mean, we receive these emails all the time, and from time to time they're about winners. And in this particular situation, is the only time that they've ever put anybody's names out there.
Yep.
It says right here that Saeed Mohammed Adam it has $1,196,374 next to it, and that he earned $478,694. So I'm not 100% sure what they're calculating there. Maybe that like your overall earnings were 1.196 and that they've paid you 40% in USDT ERC20 over the last 18 months. I know for a fact you haven't gotten it. Who's this no-name character down here? Look at this guy, Reid Davis. 701,000. Quite frankly, bro, I would have beat you in referrals anyway. All right, that's just how it is. If I would have known there was a referral program going on where I have $1 million, I would have been putting my referrals on every social channel, every live stream would have had a link.
You got a referral. I should be following you if you have a referral program. What the hell?
Our top 10 referrers announced $10,000 in BDAG to each. None of this even makes any sense. But anyways, $280,000, 40% paid in USDT. Insanity. Oh, look at that. I just got a congratulations little pop there. I mean, I really don't. I guess Liza dropped off there.
Hey.
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
Apparently my audio was a bit scratchy. Is it
I'm
scratchy?
so sorry. I do need to jump for hearts. I have a meeting in 2 minutes, but I just want to add in closing before I jump off here is, my advice to our communities is do not fall victim to the misinformation campaign that's going out there. Let's remain focused on the DAO and getting this in the right hands.
Yeah, I'm going to jump into that next.
There's a reason why these campaigns are going on right now because they're trying to weaken the base in order to take away, to be, to distract from the true issue at hand. And I also will add that moving forward, I'm not going to spend time responding to their misinformation campaign because we've been doing so much hard work to focus on the DAO that every second we take away from that to focus on this campaign is actually being taken away from true work that needs to be done. And I have a full-time job. My focus is getting this on the right hand. So, I'm not looking forward to spending any more time responding to baseless accusations. We have given you guys enough to go off of today. And with that being said, thank you all for your support and, standing united. And let's stay united. Have a great day, you all. I'm about to jump on another meeting right now.
Go for it.
All right, Mo,
Thanks,
thank
Mo.
you.
All right.
Well, with that being said, there's not a whole bunch more to say. I do want to get into some of the
No.
lawyer stuff real quick, which so this morning I paid $10,000 to the attorney for a retainer to I can't really go into a whole bunch of detail, but essentially they're setting up the DAO and the actual. It's a Wyoming DUNA, DUNA, and it's a legal structure designed specifically for decentralized autonomous organizations, particularly those operating as nonprofits. So essentially, this entity cannot make money. It's any money that gets made has to be reinvested. We can do other forms of fundraising through other channels, but this is essentially to take control of the intellectual property of BlockDAG. And we have so much grounds for it. It's been so poorly managed. To even try to give these guys any kind of pass for the things that they've done. They've got employees that have been fired at Christmas and New Year's, right there in that block, and kicked them out of their job and haven't paid them yet. And the guy goes around bragging about how much money he's got, and his wife buys him a $4 or $5 million car the other day, or something. I don't know when, but I saw the pictures of it the other day. It's just. The man deserves to go down. That's all there is to it. Gerhan Kieselos, you deserve to go down. You've scammed hundreds of millions of dollars out of people for years and years and years through Big Eyes Coin, through Lannistar, through Token House, through BlockDAG. The list goes on and on. I believe that you funneled money out of BlockDAG and into your gambling businesses out in Brazil. We're going after your gambling businesses. We're gonna take you out. You're not gonna have a license in there. You are out. You're out of there, bud. And the United States government's coming after you. The SEC's coming after you. The United Kingdom, all of Europe, freaking, you're done, bud. And you came after me. You came after Mo. You came after Liza. There's too much evidence against you. The more you squirm, the more I know how much fear you have of what we're doing. And I'm not deterred. I actually thought it was funny. I thought the articles were hilarious. I didn't even read the whole thing. I got it. I bragged to my friends about it, posted them on my Facebook. You know what I mean? You should have Googled me before you sat there and tried to attack me, man. You just solidified my fight. I laugh at dudes like you. You're a punk. And that's all there is to it. So, the lawyers are paid. Me and Mo signed the contract. And the lawyers are coming after you. We're going to take everything. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it.
Okay, so for me, I want one thing. Actually, I'm a girl. I want a few things. But the most important thing I do want is I want my fire team paid. I want the team that was terminated to be paid in full for their services because it's a breach of contract. They should have been paid by the first of the month for their services plus notice period in lieu. They have not been paid. So that's already a contractual breach. So I want my team paid as well as the back expenses of the members of the fire team. That for me is number one, because I onboarded a lot of those team members. So that for me is it's a non-negotiable. It's an absolute non-negotiable. And secondary, as an investor, I'm 100% with you in transparency, full transparency, because it's our money. It's my sweat and tears. It's your money. But at the end of the day, we do not want to sink the project. We want to save the project. We want it to be a transparent project, an accountable project, and a project that makes money for everyone as it should have done from the beginning. Our intention is not to burn the house down that we live in. Our full intention is to save the house that we're living in. But my first priority is to my ex-team members, because I do demand that they get paid. I absolutely demand that they get paid, because Nick is already, as a CEO, in breach of contract of every single person that's been fired. He's already in breach of contract. So he's broken contract with them already. So if he could be in any way gracious enough as the CEO of BlockDAG to actually honor his contractual obligations to the members fired, that would be a great step forward. And then hopefully we can work together to make this a success, because we all want it to be success. We're all investors. We all want it to succeed in every way, shape, or form. Which is why we're standing together as a community. But that's all for me. I am going to keep on working on the background to do my best to serve the BlockDAG community, and obviously to do my best to move forward and also support my team that has been fired, and keep on fighting for them for what's rightfully theirs. I mean, they've been sitting for 2 months without a salary now. And, you know, for me, 2 weeks from now, there's no salary coming. And that's just unjust. Well, apart from the fact that it's shamelessly breaking and breaching a contract, it's just unjust. If you want to buy a $5 million whatever car that was, at least you could have like forked out $140,000 for the people that you just fired before Christmas, right? So yeah, that's what I have to say. I've got nothing more. I don't know if you have anything else, Reid.
No, you know, sign up for the DAO. We have plenty of people as it is. I feel like we're definitely going to be able to stop that launch. Everything that they have done has been illegal, and we have given them ample opportunity to do the right thing, and everybody pulled the wagon in the same direction, and we were met with lies, half-truths, gaslighting, just the whole 9 yards. They think they can get away with it forever. Well, it's time. I'm pulling your card. Your card's been pulled, and this community is strong, and we're not going anywhere. And you got ramifications. Ramifications for your actions. Anyways,
Yep.
that's it. I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare for this. I will put together some more stuff, and we'll have another one real soon. I expect to hear something back from the attorneys on Monday, Tuesday, somewhere like that. Most everything that's going to be done right now is going to be done by paralegals anyway. They're going to push all the corporate paperwork. The lawyers actually get involved once the entity is set up and it's time to actually start doing some maneuverings. Oh yeah, the old YouTube channel. I'll get it back. I haven't had time to work. I got the appeals kind of done, but this is a trademark one they're hitting me for. So I beat the copyright ones. They hit me on the trademark, and so my forms weren't. I didn't have forms for the trademark, so I'm having to work up some specialized forms and citing all the laws and all the things. They've already been caught impersonating Anthony Turner because I have a signed affidavit from Anthony Turner saying that they were impersonating him. So it's abusive process on their end, and I just need to work on it. So the other channel will be back up, I'm pretty sure, pretty soon. But until then, we'll keep checking back on here. And, you know, I would do more of these, but I'm pretty busy doing the actual work that it takes. I feel like once the lawyers take over here in a few days and I feel that they've got everything set up and are doing their thing, that I won't have to quite be as on point and carrying this thing.
But ultimately, you know, we all stand behind you. We all stand behind what you're doing because you are protecting our interests, which I just want to thank you for. I mean, you've worked tirelessly.
I have been paid by BlockDAG. I gotta admit that too.
You did?
I did. I got paid.
Is that the 400,000?
Oh no. I got $750 in USDT for winning wave 3 of the Build-a-thon.
Okay. I think you owe me a food basket for that.
But
because wasn't I the organizer of the Build-a-thon?
You were, and there was supposed to be more money. Wasn't it supposed to be more? How much was it per wave? Wasn't it like $1,500?
Okay. I want my fruit basket.
I was
and my
supposed
thank
to get
you
way more money than that, and they cut the boat thing down from like 55. Was it 55,000 or 65?
55.
It was 55,000. They cut it down to 10,000. So instead of me getting, you know, we worked for 2 months solid, and they didn't even grade wave 3, or I mean wave 4. What's my opinion? My opinion, you don't want to hear it. I that's too hot for TV.
My opinion is that you owe me 2 things.
I know y'all either.
Number 6, Alaskan boots, and a fruit basket. Because you got $750 out of me.
Yeah.
2 things. Is that
I'll tell
simple?
You what, I'll use an old GKism. I'll get it to you next week. All right. I'll put together a better show. I'll go through some of the audio and video that I've got, and I'll do better timestamps. I just didn't have time to do it. And
that's
I'll find some
Thank
nice juicy stuff for y'all. It's time to let it all go. We're gonna let it all hang out. But this weekend, stay tuned. We'll have another show this weekend, and I'll lace y'all up with some real juicy audio.